Megan Thee Stallion just threw Tory Lanez up under the bus. Under the bus. Tory Lanez is supposed to be sentenced. He was supposed to be sentenced on the 7th of August, 2023, which was yesterday. That whole sentencing hearing has spilt over into the 8th, Tuesday, which is today. Listen, we're going to talk about why things got so bad for Tory Lanez. And let this be a lesson to the people who like to be gassed up, who like for people to put batteries in your back and have you going like a damn Duracell bunny. And you can't shut it off because the views and the likes and the clout is too much. And you just loving it. Tory could have stopped this. But before we get into all that, let's talk about what happened so far, okay? So far, according to news, Megan Thee Stallion said that she suffered daily since the rapper Tory Lanez shot her in her feet 3 years ago in a written statement that was read during Tory Lanez's sentencing, which was stretched into today, Tuesday, started yesterday. Usually, sentencing hearings only take a couple of hours. So for them to be going into another day is to tell you the magnitude of this whole thing. Part of her stuff that she said, part of her letter that she wrote in, because she didn't show up in person. They were debating before, was she going to show up in person to give the victim impact statement? She chose not to show up in person. She chose to send in a letter. Since I was viciously shot by the defendant, I have not experienced a single day of peace, Megan said in a statement, and her statement was read by the Los Angeles County Deputy District Attorney, Kathy Tay. Slowly but surely, I'm healing and I'm coming back, but I will never be the same. The hip-hop star testified during the trial. Megan Thee Stallion testified during the Tory Lanez trial. That was what solidified this, helped them to get a conviction. It was Megan that helped them to get a conviction. Said that she struggled with whether she should appear in person to give this statement or if she should do the written thing. But she just simply could not bring herself to be in the same room with Tory again. In other words, this is a traumatic event that she is healing from, and this is how she is processing this trauma. She doesn't want to be in the same room with the person that harmed her anymore. Too much bad stuff came out of the relationship. She asks that her absence not be taken as a sign of indifference, and she urged the judge, David Hereford, to issue a stiff sentence. There's a lot of people out here in the streets right now saying a lot of nasty stuff about Megan. That bitch, her career is over. I hate her. She a snitch. How you always rapping about hood shit and 10 toes down, and now all of a sudden you in court testifying and then writing a victim impact statement asking the judge to issue a stiff sentence on somebody that you were so friendly with before. I'm going to talk about all that and how I feel about all that in a minute. So the judge had been expected to sentence Tory Lanez on Monday. I told y'all before, at the hearing that often only takes a couple of hours. But the judge had the attorneys from both sides argue each factor of this potential sentence and allowed seven witnesses to give statements on Tory Lanez's charitable giving, on his childhood trauma, on his status as a father of a 6-year-old, on all the good things that he has done throughout life and all the things he has been through that has shaped him as a person and brought him to this point in life. In other words, they're trying to paint a good picture of him in the judge's eyes. Judge, Your Honor, this is not somebody we want to throw away for a long time and damage his life. He can be a really good person in society. He made a mistake. Let's not damage the rest of his life. Let's hope he is rehabilitated and put him back out here. Prosecutors were asking a judge to hand down 13 years. That's how much they want to give Tory Lanez right now. 13 years. Tory is 31 already. So 13 years would put him at what? You do the math, right? He'll be in his 40s when he get out. Won't be popping like now, new, because don't nobody really want to hear a 40-something-year-old rapper just coming out or singer. But Tory was already established in the industry, and he's pretty talented on both rapping and singing, producing, all that. So he probably has a space in the industry regardless after. Plus, people are going to want to know his story, how your life changed, about them times you were in prison and all that. Tory Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, was convicted of 3 felonies. I saw yesterday somebody on the comment section just cussing people out. Y'all shut the F up. You don't know what you're talking about. He never got charged for shooting her. He only got charged for discharging a firearm in a public space. Some of y'all in the comment sections, I don't know. People just get up every day and go to comment sections and just look for other people to argue with. It is important for you to do some reading, right? Most people get up and they just listen to friggin' videos and they just read comment sections. It is important for you to actually check in with the news stations. It is important for you to actually go read a newspaper and you will get proper information. Tory Lanez was convicted of 3 felonies, just for the record, so you don't go arguing with people about the wrong stuff. He was convicted of 3 felonies. Assault with a semi-automatic firearm, that's 1. Assault with a semi-automatic firearm, meaning he caused bodily harm to an individual with a semi-automatic firearm. That carries a lot of time. Having a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Those were his charges that he was convicted on. Lawyers for Tory Lanez said in sentencing memo that he should only get probation and be released from jail to enter a residential substance abuse program. They plan to appeal his conviction. First of all, I ain't never seen no black man pick up a gun, shoot somebody else, black or white, or even shoot a damn animal, and they did not get time in prison. So for Tory Lanez lawyers to be wishing up on a star and wishfully thinking and requesting that their client is released from prison and only gets probation and then he's able to go into a residential substance abuse program, that's not going to happen, man. He's going to get jail time. He's going to get prison time, rather. Not only that, he's going to get prison time. The victim in his crime spoke out, and not only did she take the stand at trial and speak on her own behalf, but she also wrote a victim impact statement where Megan Thee Stallion is asking the judge to hand down stiff penalty. A stiff sentence means she wants Tory gone for a while. Okay? Now, Megan testified during the trial that Tory Lanez had fired the gun at the back of her feet as she was walking away. And get this part. She said it on the stand. This is where he made the statement, "Dance, bitch, dance." Like some Yosemite Sam shit. Bah, bah, bah. Shooting at her feet. "Dance, bitch, dance." As she was walking away from the SUV in which they had been riding. And this happened in summer of 2020. The pair had just left a party at Kylie Jenner's Hollywood Hills home. Tory Lanez's father, Sunstar Peterson, who is a Christian minister, he was in court choking back tears on yesterday, as he told the judge about Tory's mama. Tory's mama, Luella, was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and she passed away from this rare blood disorder within a few days of finding out that she had this stuff. And when it happened, so they didn't have any preparation time to say, mom's in a hospital, she's suffering. Okay, I don't want to see her like that anymore. If she goes now, I can be at peace with that. She's in pain. She's no longer in pain. No, she went from being mama and okay and loving her son and raising Tory Daystar Peterson to boom, a matter of days, she was dead, gone. Tory Lanez, was 11 years old. I don't think anybody ever gets over that, is what his father said in court. But his music became his outlet. That's why he got so passionate about his music. Other witnesses that talked about Tory Lanez, constant charitability, giving away stuff, they told the judge how Tory, even before he became big famous and started making all that money, he was known for taking care of people who didn't have it. He was always giving away to charities and all this other stuff. The mother of his son, Reina Casagne, her name was, she went up there and spoke on his behalf or wrote a letter in. She calls him the most supportive father and the funniest father ever. Dozens more wrote letters to Hereford. So he had 7 witnesses and then dozens of letters. People like Iggy Azalea and all other kinds of people wrote in. Iggy Azalea asked the judge, please let this be a transformative sentence and not a life-destroying sentence. Meaning, if you get too much time behind bars, man, you start forgetting about the outside world. You become convict-minded, because you have to become convict-minded in prison in order to survive. Or that's the thought. If you got a lot of time, you can't be back there trying to walk a straight line, right? And you telling on everybody and I'm trying to uphold the law. You'll be labeled a snitch. You'll get cut up. You'll get all kinds of things done to you. So you got to be down with the program. And then if you're in that for too long, that becomes a part of you. So Iggy Azalea is telling a judge, like, don't throw him away. Don't give him a sentence that's going to cause him to destroy his life. You know, all the traumas that go on behind prison bars and whatnot, he will be affected by it. Give him some time to where he feels like he is punished. Give him some time to sit down and think, but then a chance to rehabilitate and come back to society and continue to do all the good he was doing before. The judge said that Tory Lanez's 6-year-old son also wrote a handwritten letter to the courts. Of course, they didn't read it to the courts, but I could imagine it's a little boy begging for his daddy because somebody finally explained to him that, yo, your dad's going away for a long time and he's probably going to be living in one of these buildings right here. And little man's 6. He doesn't fully understand what's going on yet, but he's going to grow to grasp what's going on, especially if his father gets 13 years. He'll be 19, 20 years old by the time his daddy gets out, right? So he'll definitely be grown up without a father. A chaplain from Los Angeles County Jail even appeared in court on Tory Lanez's behalf and told the judge how Tory has been leading the prior groups ever since he got there, which has eased the tension in the protective custody unit where he is being held. The judge made findings in favor of each side on Monday, leaving little indication of what sentence he will give. We don't know. We're about to know today what sentence Tory Lanez will be given. Listen to this. He found that Megan Thee Stallion was an especially vulnerable victim. This is what the judge says. He found that Megan Thee Stallion was an especially vulnerable victim when she was shot. But he also found that Tory Lanez was not especially cruel or callous in firing at her. Legal factors that could influence his decision. Check it. Tory Lanez was drunk. He was inebriated. He was high. He was smoking weed. He was popping pills probably. He was on alcohol, all that other kind of stuff, right? And he acted in that. So that's why the judge said he doesn't find it that Tory was extremely malicious or being callous or cruel. He was acting under the influence, which, you know, the influence of all this drugs, alcohol, and whatever else, it clouded his judgment. And in a moment of wildness, now he has to go pay for it. So it wasn't like he sat down and he planned it. And he was like, yo, I'm going to get her in the car. And while we're driving, I'm going to tell her to get out the car. And then I'm going to shoot her in her feet and shoot her up. That wasn't the case. Things just were happening on the go, which he regretted the day after, and then started trying to do damage control, right? The judge said that he will consider Tory Lanez charitable giving and the glowing statements that were made about him, how he's a pillar to his community and he's a pillar in his family and all that. But the judge also said that he would consider what the prosecutors call attempts by Tory Lanez through social media posts and in song lyrics to intimidate Megan Thee Stallion, to cast doubt on whether she was shot at all or not. The judge said that Tory Lanez also had a clear lack of remorse. People, y'all already know. If the judge says you have a clear lack of remorse, you know they're about to fold your ass up and throw you way up under the bus, right? But the judge says that he will not allow that to be a factor because the rapper has a right to maintain his innocence. Bullshit. Bullshit. Anytime you go to court and you do one of these crimes, let's call it a crime because that's what it is, right? And you shoot somebody, and then you're in the court not showing any friggin' remorse. Tory should have been up there on that stand. Tory should have been crying. Tory should have been saying, I made a mistake and I was drunk, I was high, I was out of my mind, I need rehab, I need help, I'm young, I'm out here getting a lot of money, a lot of things got to my head. For God's sake, I'm coming from the Hollywood Hills, from a pool party with some very influential people or multi-millionaires, right? Kylie Jenner and them. I'm in a different circle, and I think it all got to my head, Your Honor, and things got out of control. And this is where he should have broke down crying in his own testimony, begging for some leniency, but he didn't do that. He didn't do that at all. Prosecutors shared a statement from Megan Thee Stallion during Tory Lanez sentencing, and this is how some of it goes. She wasn't in the hearing, but she said that she has been tormented. She said that she has been terrorized. Megan referenced widely shared information that had spread since the incident and the trial, and she further stated that Tory Lanez had done whatever he could to avoid accountability and punishment. She said he paid bloggers to disseminate false information. He treated my trauma like it was a joke when I could have been dead. He blamed the system. He blamed the press. And as of late, he is using his own childhood trauma to justify his actions. Slowly but surely, I'm healing, but I will never be the same. His crime warrants the full weight of the law. This is what Megan Thee Stallion wrote. And check it out, man. People out here calling her snitching, all kinds of stuff. And I talk about the battery being put in your back. I remember after the incident happened, a lot of people were riding with Tory Lanez. A lot of people turned on Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, that bitch lying. She ain't get shot in the feet. If you got shot in the feet, how come you didn't hit any bones? If you got shot in the feet, how come you still walking around and dancing? If you got shot in the feet, and there was a lot of doubt. I don't know who told Tory Lanez to keep going, but it ended up costing him. Megan Thee Stallion was not about to cooperate with law enforcement until Tory kept going and went overboard and started damaging her reputation, started damaging how she is viewed in this world of entertainment, in their genre of music, which is what? Damaging her brand at the end of the day, knocking food out her mouth at the end of the day. So that's when she came out and said, oh, fuck it. Tory shot me. And this is when the DA used that piece of video clip. Tory Lanez shot me. and they started the case, and this is where it ends up today. Tory could have avoided all this. He could have called Megan on the low. He could have apologized, cried to her, pay her $1 million, and let her sign a not a cease and desist, but an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, something you could have done other than just kept going and kept going and kept going, and you're laughing on social media. And then you have other people like the Baby and Drake and whoever else, and they're making songs and they're making jokes and cracking jokes about her. That ain't funny. It's not funny. It was never funny. But they put the battery in Tory's back. And for the people who want to say Tory Lanez got thrown up under the bus and they did him wrong, shut up. Tory had a chance to get up in court, tell his side of the story, and save himself. And he never did. He fired his lawyers. He hired new lawyers. He requested a new trial. It got denied. He tried everything else except for getting up in court and telling his side of the story, which he could have, but he chose not to. But you know who did? The person he shot. So we know that he did shoot her for sure. So let's stop with all the foolishness. I don't think he really shot her. Somebody else in the car did it. Y'all would rather believe some conspiracy, something other than to believe the truth from a victim who got shot and saw the person who shot them and got up and said, he shot me. And you who were not there still want to believe anything else except for the fact that Tory did what he did. He's a talented brother. We can't take that away from him. He will be missed because he brings a different kind of energy to the entertainment business, especially to our music. So again, he will be missed. But what's wrong is wrong. Yo, on some G shit though, Megan Thee Stallion could have went to court, right? And she could have said this. She could have said in these words, Your Honor, me and Tory, we are young. We are caught up in a superstar world. We are looked at as megastars. We are making a whole lot of money out here. We are living luxurious lifestyle out here, and we party hard and we have a lot of fun. And I think this was one of the times where things got out of hand. He was drinking a lot. I was drinking a lot. We were both inebriated. Then we started arguing and things got out of control. I really don't think he meant to do what he did to me, but the fact that he did it just shows you how out of control our environment was that we were in, and this fast-paced entertainment lifestyle that we're living. She could have said something like that, right? She could have said, I want him to be punished for what he did to me, but I don't think he deserves the max, because at the core of who he is actually a good person. I was around him long enough to see another side of him. He wasn't always like this. This is one incident that just got blown way out, right? If she had said that, I'm telling you right now that his sentencing or his sentence would be way less than what it is or what it's going to be at this point. But for the fact that Tory never admitted publicly that he did it, for the fact that not only that, because she didn't even want him to admit publicly he did it. Megan Thee Stallion, was not even saying that Tory did it until he went overboard with the disrespect for her. She said she kept on trying to contact him. She kept telling him, yo, chill with all the stuff you doing online because it's blowing back on me. People are calling me a liar. People are dragging my name. They're dragging my brand. Stop doing this. I'm not talking about it to anybody, and I'm the one who got shot. Why are you out here going so hard? And you're lying. But he ignored what she had to say to him, and he kept going. And like I said before, I don't know if it's the clout and the people throwing the batteries in his back and the excitement and all that came with it, the views and the likes, and here we are. So one day she got up and she said, okay, so let's do this. So you want to be on social media talking all this, saying this and that, and you have people saying this and that. Since y'all want to know, I'm going to tell y'all what it is. Tory Lanez shot me. And she went on from there. The only reason Megan Thee Stallion went that hard in the opposite direction is because of how hard Tory Lanez was going in his direction. He could have saved his damn self. And we got to deal with that. I wish him all the best. And we'll do a follow-up when he is sentenced and talk about his sentence and what life's going to be like for him behind bars. Leave your comments in the comments section below, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's Hot Topics TV. You already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. I'm out. Peace.